At our annual meeting, we recognize the candidates that have graduated from the Leadership Academy. But we also, prior to that, we hand out an award every year. It's the Howard K. Award. Howard K. served on our board of directors for a number of years. He was the past chairman of the Newport School Committee, and he was a commander in the U.S. Navy. And when he retired from the Navy, he stayed in the Newport area. Howard was one of the founding members of the Providence Performing Arts Center. He was a founding member of the Providence Downtown Improvement exercise. He was a vice president at Outlet when the Outlet store transitioned into Outlet Communications and ended up purchasing a number of radio and TV stations throughout the state, including WJAR. So Howard was very accomplished. He was a vice president of our association. He unfortunately, untimely death as a result of pancreatic cancer. Our board of directors elected, because he was such an exemplary the leader in terms of school committee performance and on a local level, on a statewide level, we created the Howard K. Award. So annually, we recognize a school committee member that typifies what Howard stood for. And I'd like to invite Ray Salvatore to come up to make a presentation.
Before I start on the accomplishments, so in 2012, I got elected to be a school committee member, and this person also got elected to be a school committee member who I did not know. Currently, we still reside on the board. He's had an important influence on the direction of the Cumberland District. As you know, as being school committee members, it's not an easy task sometimes. You get on board and then you're faced with a lot of problems, and you have to contour in every way to advocate for the children and what's best for the community. This person who I'm going to announce has had a sound judgment, an even temper, a willingness to collaborate, and a sincere interest in public education. Some of his accomplishments, which is listed in the book, he's been involved in 26 years with being an advocate, whether it's for the children, for the taxpayer, for the community. He's been a member of the Transitional Building High School Building Committee when they remodeled the building, adding additional classroom space. Member of the Cumberland High School 2010 Building Wellness Center, which is a huge wellness center that we put in front of the school. A lot of coordination, a lot of impact to make sure that this building is what was needed for Cumberland to advance towards our population. He's also been the 2010 Cumberland Charter Review Committee, which was instrumental in getting the voters to change the charter, allowing for more time for the school committee to present the annual budget request. You know, and I'm sure a lot of you face this, but, you know, the school committee, the budget comes up, and sometimes you feel like it's just pushed quick and then approved on a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? You need, you know, a little bit more time on what you get for your number from the town, what you get from the state, and how you can adjust your own budget that's best for the kids. So Paul's been a big I just revealed his name. I was trying so hard not to say the name way into the end. But one of the big things also, as I bring this to a close, Paul, he was the in 2016 he was the finance committee chairperson. When we were getting pretty much influence that we were going to be short on our budget recommendations to the town. Again, like I said, it's a Wednesday night at the town council. We try to get parents involved. Paul was very instrumental in taking the town council and the mayor out of their comfort zone. So you have a meeting at a town council chambers. Everyone's a big advocate. Paul's helping us spearhead this. We get a whole bunch of parents there. We pull them out of their comfort zone. We bring them to the library. We had so many parents, over 500, we pull them out of the library and we bring them where? To our schools, right? So we bring the parents, the town council, and the mayor to the schools. How do you think that went? Excellent. So Paul was a huge advocate for that. And with that, as a result of community coming together, the schools received the largest increase ever, $2.1 million we had allocated towards our schools. So still, you'll hear Mr. Mitchell, Superintendent Mitchell, and Assistant Superintendent Tony DeMona come up later on. You know, we're still on the bottom half of funding per student, but we're trying to get there through results. So in 2018, lastly, Paul's work as a finance subcommittee member, he was able to get the cooperation of the Town Council Finance Committee Chairman to put together an $83 million construction proposal that we're actively working on now. So that's excellent. Paul has done a wonderful job being an advocate. And at this point, Tim, I'd like to call up Mr. Paul DeModica. Congratulations. Everyone can please... Persevere, don't quit, don't waver. Nothing is really worth doing which can be done easily. The real fun in life, the real thrill lies in accomplishing a job of lasting value which others said could not be done. The greatest triumphs are won by those who will not be beaten, by those who persevere. Excellent, Paul. Congratulations. Good job.
While everyone's coming up here, I just want to say that you don't do it alone. I mean, when we got the town council out of the chambers and the mayor out of the chambers, it was because members of my school committee got their people out as well, and we fought for what we needed. Cumberland was the lowest funded in the state, and we've done a lot, you know, squeezing the buffalo off the nickel, so to speak, to make it work. I don't do it alone. Everyone here helps, and all you guys, this is your award too, because we all volunteer to put our name out there and get elected and fight for the children. So this is for everyone here. Thank you.
So we have another award to present this afternoon. Mark Fiorello has been a member of his local school committee. I don't remember, Mark, when were you? 2012. And I had the opportunity to get to know Mark when I was working as the volunteer coordinator in the Cumberland Public Schools. And Mark was always, as a parent, a real presence in the schools. And as a school committee member has taken that interest from his one child to all kids in the district. And so he's been a really ideal model for a committed school committee member. He's also been a member of our executive committee and is retiring from that position this year. So we would like to present this award to Mark Fiorello. And so I'll just read it briefly. It says, Mark Fiorello, Cumberland School Committee, Rhode Island Association of School Committees, Executive Board member since 2017 until 2019, and thank him for his dedicated service to the Rhode Island public school students. Mark?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks very much.
One of our former past presidents is going to hand out our Leadership Academy recognition. Unlike other elected officials in the state of Rhode Island, school committee members are required to have a minimum amount of professional development. It's not a lot, 6 hours. I think Massachusetts has 5 times that amount. But it's important, and like I said, it's something that probably should apply to town councils, to zoning board members. God knows the legislature needs it. So you should be commended for your efforts. I'm going to ask Kathy to hand out the leadership awards. If you've been to our functions, you collect those certificates. If you get a sufficient number of them, you can wallpaper a small room, and that might not be a bad thing, but it really is important, and your fact that you're here today is a testament to your desire to conduct yourselves professionally. So without any further ado, Kathy Patino to the Coventry School Committee will do the awards for the Leadership Academy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be able to present these awards. In 2004, RIASC established the Leadership Academy, and upon completion of 15 hours, school committee members receive special recognition from the Rhode Island Board of Education. To date, members have accrued over 11,000 professional development hours. Over 200 members have graduated from the Academy. And so there are several people here today that are graduates now of this academy. And when I announce your name, if you could come forward and receive your recognition and have a picture taken, because obviously Judy wants to take pictures for our newsletters and have it in the record. So we would ask you to do that and come forward. So I just am so pleased and honored to have the celebration with all of you. So the first recipient of 15 hours is Paul Bourget. You come forward. And our second honoree is Lynn Kapsiskas. Congratulations. The next recipient is Terry Lacey. And our next recipient is Mary Manning Morse. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Allison Powell. Woo-hoo. Our next recipient is Eugene Quinn. And our final recipient of this year is Keith Roberts. And I know that many of the people in this room are past graduates of our Leadership Academy, so I would love for all of you who have received this honor to please stand and be recognized. So we can do a woohoo! Okay. So as you know, many of us, our graduates, have continued with their professional development, and we are longstanding members of school committees and have accomplished this further hours in the Master's Academy. So of those people, there are varying degrees. So 50-plus hours are going to be recognized next. So these guys are Joanne Bonolo is our first one. Next recipient is Rosemarie Cipriano. So please come up and remain standing for a group photo. And our next person is Agnes Cotter Filkins. Our next person is Cheryl Hurst Hodgkins. Our next is Donna Kalunian. Elaine Pavo. James Pearson from my committee. And finally, David Testa. So now we get to the 100-plus hours. Emily Copeland, if you could come forward for a group picture. Paul DeMonica. Mark Fiorello. And Carolyn Mark. So I guess you guys are kind of guessing that, we just keep going up. So 200-plus hours, Sally Black, Michelle Brousseau, Fred Ferber, Jean Harnos, finally Thomas Vadney. And yes, we actually have some 300-plus hour people. So please come forward for a picture. Leanna Fenton. Our association president, Mary Ann Roll. And our immediate past president, John Saviano. And finally, Du-du-du-du-du-du. 400 plus hours. Kathy Patnode. I have a friend visiting actually this weekend from Arizona, and I was telling her that I was the recipient. And the only reason I knew was because I was given the script from Judy that I didn't read. Well, I did read, but I didn't practice the names. Anyway, I was trying to tell her that, you know, I was going to do a drum roll or whatever. I'm a crazy person. Anyway, I'm very proud to have done that many hours, and I know all of you are. And yes, Tim is right. I do have my study. It's wallpapered in certificates. And so finally, we also have an award for school committees, all of the members of whom have done their professional development, their 6 hours. And so the following communities, school committees that are here, please rise and stand at your seats. Barrington. Coventry. Jamestown. Yeah, keep standing if you'd like, so Judy can take this picture, you know. Portsmouth. And finally, Warwick. Thank you so much, and I am proud to be a member of the Coventry School Committee. We've all done ours. So thank you very much. I think she knows that she's wondering if I've read the script or not. That just meant that all of the members of their committee did do their 6 hours for this year. So every year we have that annual requirement. Thank you.
The hallmark of leadership, you know, even if there wasn't a provision in law that said you had to do a minimum of 6 hours, I have a feeling that most of the people in this room would easily be attending, being recognized for the amount of professional development they undertake on a regular basis. It's a comment on how seriously you take your responsibilities as elected officials and as officials of your school districts, because we all know that there are lots of demands on your time, and it's not easy between dealing with district issues, dealing with constituent issues, to carve out the time to come here and get more professional development so that you can fulfill your roles appropriately.